Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're uncorking one of the oldest and, honestly, most fascinating wine regions on the entire planet, Andalusia. It's a land of incredible sun, deep history, and some seriously misunderstood wines. So, let's just dive right in and talk about the elephant in the room.
I've got a question for you right off the bat. When I say the word sherry, what's the very first image that pops into your head? Go on, be honest.
Is it something like this? You know, a sweet, kind of sticky drink that maybe your grandma had tucked away in the back of a cupboard for years? Yeah, that's a super common stereotype. And for a long, long time, that's been the image that has defined Andalusian wine for most of the world. Well, today we are going to completely shatter that image. We're about to dive into a whole universe of wines that are incredibly complex, so diverse, and just full of life. So get ready, because we're going to uncover the surprising truth about the wines of Andalusia.
First things first. To really get what's going on here, you have to understand that this is a land of incredible diversity, with a story that goes back thousands and thousands of years.
I mean, just look at this timeline. We're talking about a 3,000-year legacy here. It all starts way back in 1100 BC with the Phoenicians. Then the Romans come in and turn it into a full-blown business, trading it across their empire. The winemaking even survives Moorish rule. They just grew the grapes for raisins instead. But the real turning points? The 15th century, when winemaking gets a huge revival. And then the Golden Age in the 17th century, when that strong trade with England really helped perfect the complex sherry we know today.
So what is it about this place that makes it so perfect for growing grapes? Well, like with all great wines, it all comes down to the magic of the terroir, that one-of-a-kind combination of climate, soil, and geography. The climate here is pretty classic Mediterranean, but it has a few tricks up its sleeve. You've got these blazing hot, dry summers that just pump the grapes full of sugar. Then, the mild, rainy winters act like a giant battery, recharging the soil with water for the tough season ahead. And maybe the most important part? Those coastal breezes. They're like nature's air conditioning, keeping the grapes from getting scorched and locking in this really vital freshness. And right here, this is the region's secret weapon. It's called Albariza soil. This stuff is just incredible. It's this bright white, chalky soil that does two amazing things. First, it's so white it literally reflects sunlight back up onto the vines, helping ripen the grapes from below. Second, and this is the really crucial part, it acts like a giant sponge. It soaks up all that winter rain and then slowly releases it to the vine's roots during the blistering hot summer. It's basically a perfect natural survival system.
Okay, now for the main event. Let's get into the heart of Andalusia's most famous creation, and finally, decode the world of sherry.
So here's the wild thing. Almost all sherry starts from the same base wine, but after fermentation, it comes to a fork in the road. Most styles get fortified, which means a little neutral grape spirit is added, and that decides which path it's going to take. On one side, you have biological aging. This is where a layer of living yeast called flor forms a blanket on top of the wine, protecting it from air. This is what creates those pale, crisp, fresh styles. On the other side, you've got oxidative aging, where the wine is deliberately exposed to oxygen, creating those darker, richer, and nuttier styles. Two paths, totally different destinations. And how do they manage all this? With a system that is pure genius. It's called the Solera system. Picture a big stack of barrels. The newest wine goes into the top rows. Then, over time, a little bit of wine is moved down from one row to the next and then the next. The wine for bottling is only ever taken from the very bottom row, which holds the oldest, most complex blend. This means every single bottle is a blend of countless different vintages. It ensures incredible consistency and complexity. It's truly like a waterfall of time, all captured in a bottle.
Okay, so this is your cheat sheet. This brings it all together. You've got Fino and Manzanilla. Those are the bone-dry, light, salty ones from biological aging. Then Oloroso, which is fully oxidative. It's rich, nutty, and complex, but still dry. Amontillado is wild because it starts as a Fino and then ages with oxygen, so you get the best of both worlds. And then you get to Pedro Ximénez, or PX, which is made from sun-dried grapes and is intensely sweet. So forget the stereotype. The most important takeaway here is that most sherry is actually dry, and they are some of the most complex, food-friendly wines on the planet.
But hold on, we are not done, because if you think Andalusia is only about sherry, you are missing out on so much. This region is absolutely brimming with other wine treasures. So if you venture outside that famous Sherry Triangle, you find this amazing mosaic of other designated wine regions. For instance, in Montilla Moriles, they make wines so similar to sherry that they often don't even need to be fortified because the grapes get so incredibly ripe on their own. Malaga is legendary for its sweet moscatel wines. And then you have places like Condado de Huelva and the Sierras de Malaga that are making some seriously fantastic modern still red and white wines.
And that right there is a huge takeaway. There's a true renaissance happening with non-fortified wines. Winemakers are crafting these world-class reds and whites from local grapes, like Tintilla de Rota, and they're even using the classic Palomino grape to make these amazing, crisp, unfortified table wines. This region is innovating like never before. It's so exciting to see. So, what does all of this history and science and geography mean for you? For us, as wine drinkers, it means there's a whole world to explore. So let's talk about how to bring these incredible wines to your table. And now for the best part, the food. Seriously, forget thinking of sherry as just a before-dinner drink. A dry, cold manzanilla with fresh seafood or even just some salty olives, it is a match made in heaven. A complex amontillado with some cured ham, mind-blowing. A rich oloroso can totally stand up to red meat just like a big cab. And for dessert, pouring some of that dark, syrupy PX over a bowl of vanilla ice cream, trust me, it is absolutely divine.
You know, what I find so exciting about Andalusia right now is this perfect balance they've struck. They are fiercely proud of their heritage, preserving these incredible ancient traditions like the Solera system. But at the exact same time, they're embracing modern ideas, sustainable farming, and they're experimenting with new styles. They're making sure these ancient wines have a very vibrant future.
And that kind of brings us to a final thought I want to leave you with. In a world that is always chasing the next new thing, could it be that a 3,000-year-old tradition actually holds the secret to real modern innovation? Something to think about. Thanks so much for joining me on this one.